How is it possible that a city that was once one of the richest in America, with over 2 million residents, ended up with large sections looking like an impoverished ghost town in less than a single lifetime?
We plunge headfirst into an exploration of American cities that, sadly, seem to be dwindling economically, demographically, and in general vibrancy. Here is a candid look at 10 of these cities, each embodying a unique story of decline. Number 1. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, the largest city in the state of Michigan, has a rich and multifaceted history. Once known as the Motor City due to its thriving automobile industry, it was a beacon of economic prosperity and the birthplace of the American dream for many. The city was vibrant, full of energy, and attracted migrants from across the country who sought employment in its burgeoning factories. However, over the past few decades, Detroit has faced a sharp and alarming decline.
Tamara, Detroit's population has continued to decline, over the last 70 years?
The city, once the fourth largest in the United States, now ranks 24th. The population has dwindled from a peak of 1.8 million in the 1950s to fewer than 700,000 in recent years. Many neighborhoods, once filled with the hustle and bustle of daily life, now stand deserted, home only to crumbling infrastructure and the echoing memories of better times. A significant factor contributing to Detroit's decline has been the downfall of the automobile industry. Competition from foreign manufacturers, technological advancements, and evolving consumer preferences have all challenged the stability of the industry. Job losses were severe and widespread, affecting not only the automobile industry but also supporting industries such as steel, rubber, and glass. The ripple effect was devastating for the local economy. Additionally, Detroit has struggled with high crime rates, consistently ranking among the top cities in the United States for violent crime. Crime and the fear of crime have driven many residents and businesses away, further exacerbating the city's economic and demographic challenges. Detroit's decline is also closely tied to a cycle of chronic fiscal crisis. High unemployment and a shrinking tax base have reduced the city's revenues, while the cost of maintaining services and infrastructure for a sprawling, underpopulated city has remained high. In 2013, Detroit became the largest city in U.S. history to file for bankruptcy, a clear indication of its economic despair. Moreover, the city has struggled with a failing education system, with many of its public schools underperforming on state and national measures. Low educational attainment levels have made it challenging for residents to compete for jobs in today's knowledge-based economy, further complicating Detroit's recovery efforts. Yet despite the grim realities, Detroit is a city of resilience. Efforts to revitalize the city are underway, spearheaded by community leaders, nonprofits, and even private sector entities. These initiatives aim to attract investment, promote economic diversification, and improve the quality of life for Detroit's residents. The journey to recovery may be long, but Detroit, the once thriving heart of the American auto industry, clings to hope and perseveres in the face of adversity. Detroit's story is a poignant example of a city grappling with significant economic, demographic, and social challenges. It serves as a powerful reminder of the impacts of industrial decline, fiscal instability, and systemic issues such as crime and education on urban centers. The tale of Detroit's decline is not simply one of failure, but also one of resilience and the enduring spirit of its residents in the face of adversity. Number 2. St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, known for its iconic Gateway Arch, is a city with a grand past but a more troubled present. Once the fourth largest city in the United States, its population has been steadily decreasing, a trend mirrored by its dwindling economic fortunes.
People are moving away from the St. Louis region. This is coming from new estimates by the U.S. Census Bureau.
Situated along the Mississippi River, St. Louis once served as the nation's gateway to the West, an epicenter of commerce, industry, and transportation. The city thrived due to its strategic location, leading to rapid growth and prosperity. However, over the past several decades, St. Louis has experienced a notable decline. Demographic shifts have played a significant role in this decline. The population of St. Louis peaked in the 1950s at over 850,000, but it has since decreased to just over 300,000. This loss has resulted in numerous abandoned homes and buildings, some areas almost appearing as ghost towns. The rapid suburbanization in the post-World War II era led to significant urban sprawl, causing a drop in the inner-city population. St. Louis' economic decline was spurred by several factors, primarily the decline in manufacturing jobs, particularly in the automotive industry. As globalization accelerated and manufacturing jobs were outsourced, the city suffered massive job losses. This deindustrialization led to higher unemployment rates and economic instability. Alongside these economic issues, St. Louis has grappled with a high crime rate. This has been a significant concern for the city, with violent crime rates consistently ranking among the highest in the United States. This reality, unfortunately, has created an atmosphere of fear and insecurity among residents, discouraging new businesses and investments. The city's education system has also struggled. Many of St. Louis public schools perform poorly on state assessments, contributing to a cycle of poverty and limited opportunities for young people. The situation is further exacerbated by the significant socioeconomic disparities and racial segregation in the city, deep-rooted issues that have plagued St. Louis for decades. St. Louis' fiscal health has suffered as well. Falling revenues due to a declining population and a decrease in business activity have put a strain on the city's budget, impacting public services and infrastructure development. The city's shrinking tax base has made it challenging to address these issues effectively. However, like Detroit, St. Louis is a city of resilience. Despite these challenges, there are many efforts underway to revitalize the city and attract new residents and businesses. Public-private partnerships are being formed to spur economic development and create jobs. Community organizations and nonprofits are working tirelessly to address social issues and improve the quality of life for residents. There is also a growing startup scene in the city, attracting tech-savvy entrepreneurs and creating a positive buzz. The revitalization efforts also extend to the city's education system, with initiatives aimed at improving schools and expanding access to quality education for all students. In recent years, the city has seen an increase in charter schools, offering parents more educational options for their children. In terms of urban development, the city is focusing on neighborhood revitalization efforts and adopting smart growth strategies. These strategies aim to transform vacant and abandoned properties into productive uses, promote walkable neighborhoods, and preserve historic and cultural resources. St. Louis' decline serves as a reminder of the impact of demographic changes, deindustrialization, and social issues on cities. Its tale is a reflection of the struggle faced by many American cities that experienced significant growth in the past, but are now grappling with decline. However, its ongoing efforts to reverse this decline are a testament to the resilience and determination of its residents. In the face of adversity, the city, once a symbol of America's westward expansion, remains steadfast in its pursuit of a brighter future. Number 3. Cleveland, Ohio. Once a leading industrial powerhouse and a beacon of the American manufacturing prowess, Cleveland, Ohio, has witnessed significant changes over the past several decades. The city, which once held a population of nearly 1 million at its peak in the 1950s, now has less than 400,000 residents. This dramatic population loss, coupled with other socioeconomic factors, presents a complex tale of urban decay, industry shift, and economic decline.
While there are plenty of reasons to relocate, everything is personal. One of those big reasons is affordability.
The backbone of Cleveland's economy was traditionally manufacturing, particularly steel and automobile production. However, the second half of the 20th century saw the onset of deindustrialization in America, and Cleveland was no exception. The loss of manufacturing jobs, primarily due to technological advancements and increased global competition, led to a sharp economic downturn. Furthermore, this downturn was accentuated by white flight and suburbanization, resulting in an exodus of middle-class families from the city to the suburbs. This demographic shift left behind a poorer urban population, leading to a decreased tax base and a subsequent reduction in the availability and quality of public services. Vacant houses and blighted neighborhoods became common sights, reflecting the stark reality of population loss and urban decay. The economic troubles also bred social issues. Cleveland has been consistently listed among the cities with the highest rates of poverty in the United States. High poverty levels often correlate with increased crime rates, and Cleveland's crime rate has been persistently high, further contributing to its difficulties. Education in Cleveland has faced its challenges as well. Many of Cleveland's public schools suffer from low test scores and high dropout rates. The inadequacy of the education system has further contributed to the cycle of poverty, making it difficult for young people to break free and seize better opportunities. The city's economy has been further strained by the decline of the healthcare sector, another major employer. With healthcare institutions facing their own challenges, such as reduced funding and changing healthcare policies, job cuts have been common, adding to the city's unemployment woes. Despite these challenges, Cleveland is not without its bright spots and potential for revival. The city's downtown area has seen significant revitalization efforts with investments in infrastructure, new business establishments, and residential developments. These efforts are drawing people back to the city center, creating a more vibrant urban life. Cleveland is also diversifying its economy, moving away from a sole reliance on manufacturing. The city is developing its technology and biomedical sectors, and these new industries offer promising employment opportunities. The city is home to several universities and colleges, which provide a steady stream of talent to fuel these sectors. Efforts are also being made to improve the city's public schools and boost educational outcomes. Initiatives, such as the Cleveland Plan, aim to reinvent public education in the city by providing more high-quality school options for families, ensuring every child in Cleveland attends a high-quality school, and every neighborhood has a multitude of great schools from which families can choose. Cleveland's narrative of decline is a reflection of broader trends of deindustrialization, suburbanization, and demographic shifts that have impacted many U.S. cities. However, its ongoing revitalization efforts and its determination to reinvent itself show the resilience of this Rust Belt city. Despite the adversities, Cleveland continues to strive for a better future, underlining the city's unyielding spirit in the face of decline. Number 4. Buffalo, New York. Once the Queen City of the Great Lakes, Buffalo, New York, has seen its share of decline. At its peak in the mid-20th century, Buffalo was a bustling city with a robust population and a strong, diversified economy. However, over the past several decades, Buffalo has suffered from a declining population, economic hardships, and urban decay. Buffalo's decline began in the mid-20th century, coinciding with the broader decline of manufacturing in the United States. As a major hub of heavy industry and steel production, Buffalo was significantly impacted by the deindustrialization process. Factories closed, jobs disappeared, and the city's economic vitality started to wane. The city's geographic position, which was once an asset due to its proximity to the Great Lakes and the Erie Canal, became less advantageous as the economy shifted from manufacturing to services. This shift was accelerated by the completion of the St. Lawrence Seaway, which reduced the significance of Buffalo's position as a major port and further impacted its economy. Alongside these economic shifts, Buffalo experienced significant population loss. In the mid-20th century, Buffalo was the 8th largest city in the United States, with a population of over 500,000. However, by the early 21st century, the city's population had halved. This rapid depopulation left behind many vacant houses and empty neighborhoods, visually symbolizing the city's decline. Crime has been another factor contributing to Buffalo's challenges. The city has consistently been listed among those with the highest crime rates in New York State, creating an atmosphere of insecurity and driving people away. The city's public schools have also been a source of concern. Despite significant spending per student, many of Buffalo's schools are ranked among the worst in the state. This educational crisis has limited opportunities for the city's young people, furthering the cycle of poverty and making recovery more difficult. Despite these challenges, Buffalo has shown signs of resilience and a potential for recovery. Efforts are underway to revitalize the city and reinvent its economy. The city's waterfront, for instance, has undergone significant redevelopment, transforming into a vibrant destination for both residents and tourists. Buffalo's economy is diversifying as well. While it still has a manufacturing presence, the city is becoming a hub for healthcare and education, with institutions like the University at Buffalo and Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center playing significant roles. The city's burgeoning tech scene is another bright spot, offering new opportunities for economic growth. Improvements are also evident in the city's education system. Buffalo Public Schools has made efforts to improve student outcomes, including launching innovative programs and providing more resources. These initiatives aim to equip students with the skills and knowledge needed for the 21st century economy. The city is also leveraging its rich architectural heritage and cultural attractions to boost tourism. From Frank Lloyd Wright's Darwin Martin House to the vibrant arts scene, these assets provide unique opportunities to attract visitors and generate revenue. Buffalo's decline serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of cities heavily reliant on manufacturing and the devastating impact of deindustrialization. However, its ongoing revitalization efforts underscore the city's resilience and the potential for renewal. Despite its struggles, Buffalo remains a city with a rich history and a strong sense of community, continually striving to overcome its challenges and forge a path towards a brighter future. Number 5. Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana, a city once booming with steel mills and bustling with a hardworking population, tells a tale of harsh economic decline. It's a narrative of a city once at the forefront of the American Industrial Revolution, now dealing with dwindling population numbers, a deteriorating economy, and escalating crime rates. Founded in 1906 by the United States Steel Corporation, Gary thrived as a steel town, growing rapidly in its early years. However, its fortunes began to decline in the latter half of the 20th century, as the American steel industry faced increased competition from foreign manufacturers, coupled with the impact of technological advancements that reduced the need for manpower. This decline in the steel industry, which was the backbone of Gary's economy, resulted in widespread job losses. Unemployment rates soared, and the city's economic vitality began to wane. This economic downturn was exacerbated by racial tension and civil unrest in the 1960s and 1970s, driving many businesses and residents out of the city and further compounding its economic woes. With this economic contraction came significant population loss. From a peak of nearly 180,000 residents in the 1960s, Gary's population has decreased to less than 80,000 today. This depopulation has led to a large number of abandoned homes and buildings, with some neighborhoods appearing nearly deserted. Gary's educational system has also suffered. The city's schools have struggled with low test scores, high dropout rates, and decreased funding, contributing to a cycle of poverty and limited opportunity for the city's young people. Crime has been another significant issue for Gary. The city has one of the highest per capita crime rates in the United States, further deterring investment and contributing to its reputation as a struggling city. Yet, despite these severe challenges, there are signs of potential revival in Gary. For instance, the city has been making concerted efforts to attract new industries and diversify its economy. Tourism is one such sector, with the city capitalizing on its location along Lake Michigan and its rich cultural heritage, including its recognition as the birthplace of the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. Efforts are also underway to revitalize Gary's downtown area, with plans for new commercial and residential developments. The city has also started to address the issue of blighted properties, demolishing abandoned buildings and repurposing the land for productive use. The city is also making strides in improving its education system. Despite the challenges, there have been initiatives to improve the quality of education, including partnerships with charter school organizations and programs to improve teacher quality. Gary's decline serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities of cities heavily reliant on a single industry. The story of Gary underscores the harsh reality of what happens when that industry faces substantial challenges. However, its ongoing efforts towards economic diversification and revitalization also highlight the potential for renewal and the enduring resilience of its residents. Despite the daunting challenges, Gary continues to strive for a better future, a testament to the city's unyielding spirit. Number 6. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque, New Mexico, a city enriched with deep cultural history and beautiful landscapes, has been grappling with a series of issues that have placed it on a path of decline. Despite its charm and potential, Albuquerque has been beset by a struggling economy, high crime rates, and an underperforming education system. At the heart of Albuquerque's troubles is an economy that has struggled to keep pace with other major cities in the United States. The city's economic growth has been sluggish, lagging behind both the national and state averages. This slow growth has been linked to various factors, including the city's reliance on government jobs, particularly in the fields of defense and technology. Moreover, the city's private sector has been slow to expand, leading to a lack of diverse employment opportunities. This has resulted in higher-than-average unemployment rates and a substantial underemployment problem, with many residents working in jobs that do not fully utilize their skills or education. Another critical concern for Albuquerque has been crime. The city has consistently had one of the highest crime rates in the country, a fact that has not only affected the quality of life for residents but also deterred potential investors and new businesses. The high crime rate has also contributed to the city's population loss, as some residents have chosen to leave in search of safer communities. Albuquerque's public education system has faced its challenges as well. Low graduation rates and poor student performance on standardized tests have been persistent issues. Despite increased spending on education, outcomes have not significantly improved, limiting opportunities for young people and perpetuating a cycle of poverty. Moreover, economic inequality and racial disparities have been significant challenges. These issues have resulted in stark contrast between different parts of the city, with some areas thriving while others struggle with poverty and neglect. However, despite these challenges, there are signs of potential revival and resilience in Albuquerque. Efforts are underway to diversify the economy, reduce crime, and improve the education system. The city is investing in sectors like tourism, film, and renewable energy, providing new employment opportunities and attracting investment. Efforts to combat crime have been intensified, with new approaches to policing and community engagement. There has been a push for more community policing and initiatives that focus on prevention, intervention, and reintegration to reduce crime rates and create a safer community. Significant strides are being made to improve the city's education system as well. The city has launched several initiatives aimed at improving school performance, increasing graduation rates, and closing achievement gaps. These initiatives are aimed at ensuring that every student has access to a quality education and opportunities for success. Moreover, Albuquerque's cultural heritage and natural beauty continue to be a draw. The city's unique blend of Native American, Hispanic, and Anglo cultures creates a rich tapestry of history and traditions. Its stunning landscapes, including the Sandia Mountains and the Rio Grande, offer recreational opportunities and attract tourists. Albuquerque's story is a testament to the complex interplay of economic, social, and educational issues that can contribute to a city's decline. Yet, the city's ongoing efforts to address these challenges also highlight the potential for recovery and revitalization. Despite the obstacles, Albuquerque continues to leverage its strengths and work towards a brighter future, a testament to the city's resilience in the face of adversity. Number 7. Shreveport, Louisiana. Shreveport, Louisiana, once a city flourishing with industries like oil and gas, has been facing an uphill battle against economic decline, population loss, and social challenges. Despite its cultural richness and southern charm, Shreveport has struggled with an array of issues that have put it on a path of decline. The city's economic troubles can be traced back to the 1980s, when the oil industry, a significant economic driver for Shreveport, suffered a major downturn. The resulting loss of jobs left a lasting impact on the city's economy. Further exacerbating these economic issues has been the decline of other industries, such as manufacturing and gaming, that once served as important pillars of Shreveport's economy. The struggling economy has contributed to a high unemployment rate, and with limited job opportunities, many of Shreveport's residents have found themselves in a cycle of poverty. This economic hardship has been a driving factor behind the city's population loss, with many residents leaving Shreveport in search of better opportunities elsewhere. Compounding these economic issues has been a high crime rate. Shreveport consistently ranks above the national average for both violent and property crimes. making it one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. This high crime rate has had a substantial impact on the city's attractiveness to both residents and potential businesses. Shreveport's education system has also faced significant challenges. Despite considerable spending on education, many of Shreveport's schools perform poorly on standardized tests, and the city's high school graduation rate is below the national average. This situation limits the opportunities available to young people and perpetuates the cycle of poverty. Inequality is another major issue in Shreveport, with a stark contrast between the city's prosperous areas and its impoverished neighborhoods. This divide has led to disparities in access to quality education, healthcare, and other essential services, further reinforcing the cycle of poverty and economic decline. Despite these challenges, Shreveport has been working towards its recovery. The city has been making efforts to diversify its economy, with a focus on sectors like healthcare, education, and technology. Initiatives such as the Entrepreneurial Accelerator Program have been launched to stimulate entrepreneurial growth and attract new businesses. Shreveport's story of decline is a poignant one, painting a picture of a city struggling to navigate a host of economic, social, and educational challenges. Yet, the city's ongoing efforts to address these challenges, coupled with its cultural richness, suggest potential for recovery. Despite its struggles, Shreveport continues to strive for a better future, a testament to the city's resilience and determination. Number 8. Huntington, West Virginia. Huntington, West Virginia, once a thriving railroad and industrial hub, has been battling the realities of decline for several decades. Known for its picturesque Appalachian setting and rich history, the city has been beset by challenges, including economic downturn, depopulation, and a devastating opioid crisis. Huntington's economic decline has been primarily tied to the erosion of its manufacturing and coal mining industries. With the wider decline of these sectors throughout the United States, Huntington saw significant job losses, leading to high unemployment and increased poverty rates. The city's economy has struggled to rebound, with few industries able to fill the void left by manufacturing and mining. This economic downturn, coupled with the city's struggles with crime and drug addiction, has contributed to Huntington's population loss. Once home to over 86,000 residents in the 1950s, the city's population has since halved, leaving behind vacant homes and businesses, and a city grappling with a shrinking tax base. The opioid crisis has dealt a particularly devastating blow to Huntington. The city has been described as the epicenter of the opioid epidemic, with one of the highest rates of opioid overdose deaths in the nation. This crisis has had far-reaching effects, impacting families, straining public health and law enforcement resources, and further hampering the city's efforts at economic recovery. Huntington's education system has also encountered significant challenges. While the presence of Marshall University provides opportunities for higher education, the city's public schools have struggled with low graduation rates, budget constraints, and the impacts of the opioid crisis, such as increased numbers of children in foster care and students facing trauma and instability at home. However, amidst these formidable challenges, there are signs of resilience and efforts towards recovery in Huntington. City leaders and community members have been working hard to diversify the economy, improve public safety, and combat the opioid epidemic. Economic development initiatives have focused on sectors like healthcare, education, and tourism. Efforts to revitalize the downtown area have resulted in new businesses and cultural offerings, and plans are underway to redevelop former industrial sites for new uses. Huntington's story is a powerful testament to the profound impact of industrial decline, population loss, and drug addiction on a city. Yet, it is also a story of resilience and determination as the city continues to face its challenges head-on and strive for a better future. Through its ongoing efforts, Huntington is seeking to turn the tide and chart a path towards recovery and renewal. Number 9. Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, a city steeped in history and graced by the natural beauty of the Arkansas River, has been navigating a journey marred by economic decline, population loss, and social challenges. Once a flourishing commercial center during the early part of the 20th century, Pine Bluff's fortunes have drastically changed. The city's economic decline has been closely linked to the downfall of its traditional industries such as manufacturing and agriculture. Technological advancements, overseas competition, and shifts in the economic landscape resulted in the closing of factories and a decline in agriculture-related jobs, leading to unemployment and financial instability for many residents. This economic downturn has led to an exodus of people, resulting in significant population loss. The number of residents has decreased from a peak of around 57,000 in the 1970s to under 40,000 today. This population decline has left the city with a plethora of vacant and abandoned buildings, contributing to an atmosphere of decay. Compounding these economic and demographic issues, Pine Bluff has struggled with high crime rates. The city has consistently ranked among the nation's most dangerous cities, which further impedes economic development and the retention and attraction of residents. Education is another area where Pine Bluff faces substantial hurdles. The city's schools have suffered from low academic achievement and graduation rates, contributing to a cycle of poverty and limited opportunity for young residents. The decline in population has also strained the city's education budget, further exacerbating the situation. However, despite these struggles, Pine Bluff is not without signs of resilience and potential for revival. The city has been making concerted efforts to revitalize its economy, improve safety, and enhance education. Pine Bluff's story is one that illustrates the impact of economic change and social challenges on a city's trajectory. Yet it also speaks to the resilience and determination of a community in the face of adversity. Despite its struggles, Pine Bluff continues to fight for a brighter future, providing a valuable lesson in resilience and the power of community. Number 10. Reading, Pennsylvania. Reading, Pennsylvania, once known as the Pretzel City for its thriving pretzel bakeries, has been wrestling with a range of issues that have resulted in its decline. This city, with its rich industrial past and a strategic location along the Schuylkill River, has faced an uphill battle against economic struggles, population loss, and social issues. Reading's decline is closely tied to the collapse of the manufacturing industry that once propelled its economy. As local factories shuttered and jobs disappeared, the city was left grappling with high unemployment rates and ensuing economic hardship. The poverty rate in Reading has risen significantly, at times ranking among the highest in the nation. The city's economic challenges have spurred a significant population decline. Many residents have moved out in search of better opportunities, leaving behind vacant homes and creating a dwindling tax base, further straining the city's finances. Compounding these issues, Reading has struggled with crime, often ranking above national averages. This high crime rate has not only impacted residents' quality of life, but has also discouraged new businesses and investments, making economic recovery even more challenging. Reading's education system has also encountered difficulties. Despite dedicated educators and community involvement, the city's schools have often underperformed on state assessments. The high poverty rate has further complicated matters, as schools grapple with issues like high student mobility, language barriers, and resource constraints. Despite these daunting challenges, there are glimmers of hope and resilience in Reading. Efforts are underway to revitalize the economy, combat crime, and improve the education system. To spur economic growth, Reading has embarked on initiatives to attract new businesses and investments, focusing on industries such as healthcare, technology, and logistics. The city is leveraging its geographic location, being a short distance from major metropolitan areas like Philadelphia, to promote itself as a strategic business location. Reading's decline is a sobering story of a city dealing with the fallout from industrial decline, economic hardship, and social challenges. Yet it's also a story of resilience and potential for recovery. With concerted efforts and innovative strategies, Reading is fighting back against decline, striving to create a better future for its residents and revitalize the city.